So we were asked on Instagram today to basically select 20 players that South Africa should invest in for the World Cup, and that was a question sent to us on Instagram earlier on today. I'm sorry if I look a little bit under the weather and look a little bit down, whatever. Struggling a little bit today. I am not feeling that great. I have a little bit of a headache and a migraine coming on. So, yeah, I'm going to try to do my best on the show today. I am not feeling that well, but I will try my best to give you guys the best show that we can give you. I am getting a little bit of a migraine coming on, so I'm probably going to go straight to bed after the show. But yes, today is the Q&A session. This is the opportunity for you guys to ask us questions and for us to answer it. We've gone, as you've seen in the headline, we've gone for this particular question, but we will also take your questions as well. I'll start with the Instagram, obviously, questions as well, and then myself and Aditya will answer all of them to the best of our ability. But smash the like button, comment, share, subscribe, and click that notification bell for all future videos. Don't forget to also subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every single month. So let's get into this fan Q&A session, guys. It's a Friday, and I hope that you guys had a great week, and it's now time to unwind with us. So let's get straight into it. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your fan Q&A session on Friday, as per usual. I'm your host, Khalid Mohidin, and this is my co-host, Aditya. And today we'll be answering your fan questions, obviously from Instagram and in the live chat as well. So, yeah, as I said in the intro, I'm a little bit under the weather. I can feel a migraine coming on, so I'm not 100% at the moment. But, yeah, I'll try to do my best over here and answer all of you guys' questions, of course. And we wanted to still bring you a show. So let's get into the questions. We have the first one over here. Faf is following Lucknow. Change of teams, perhaps. Aditya, do you want to maybe give some insight into this?
I have no idea. I would have to check. Yeah, I don't know. But
Yeah.
Faf on Instagram also recently posted a picture with DJ Bravo at the Yellow Hearts and the team song, which is Everywhere We Go.
Yeah, and we can't just look at Instagram and see who people follow and make conclusions from it. Just like with the Deval Brewer situation, he posted on his Instagram as well to clear up all of those false stories that were coming out about him replying to tweets, because he doesn't have a Twitter account. I know this from when we interviewed him. And yeah, he cleared it up, and I shared that with everybody as well on social media. But I'm not sure, maybe. You never know with which I don't even know. We don't know what team is going to pick him up in the IPL auction either. Like we don't really know what's going to happen over there. If CSK is going to go in for him again, they have the budget to do so. So it could be a change of team for Faf in the IPL.
Look, I think one thing is that CSK obviously love him, and I'm sure Faf would also love to be back as part of CSK. Did I just say CSA anyway? But in addition to that, the head coach of Lucknow is Andy Flower, who had a fantastic relationship with Faf when Faf was captain of the St. Lucia Kings in the CPL. So the two of them get along well. And remember, Andy Flower was also coach of the World 11 that Faf captained back in 2016. So the two of them seem to have quite a productive working relationship. And if Faf indeed does go to Lucknow, then I wouldn't be surprised, because he does. It seems like he would get along well with that management also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so let's move on to the next one. This is from Justin FX Tech. He says, since Keshav is vice captain in the ODIs, Does this mean Shamsi will miss out in the 11? Very poor decision by CSA. Now, I'm actually interested to see what will happen in the ODIs if that's the case, because um, it would be, in my opinion at least, I think Shamsi is the best spinner in white ball cricket in South Africa, and the variations that he adds and the way he bowls and the way he makes bat display, he always seems to put people under pressure. And in T20 cricket specifically as well, he was number one spinner in the world for a bit as well. And I mean, we know how talented Shamsi is. Um, I don't think there should be a rule around vice captains having to play. I don't think that should be the case. But yeah, it will be interesting to see who they pick. I mean, they obviously offer two different things. It depends what wickets they play on, what they need, of course. But for me personally, Shamsi is dangerous no matter where he plays. So I think Shamsi should always get the nod over Keshav in white ball cricket. If there was only one spinner getting picked, the way they're backing Aiden at the moment in ODI cricket as well, moving um, moving him obviously down the order as well to suit the team as well from that perspective. And the fact that Aiden's also bowling a couple of spin, there might not be a need for Keshav in a team if they're only going to play one spinner. Dependable on where they play. So Shamo should definitely get the nod over Keshav in white ball cricket. And I hope that is what the team management believe too. What is your thoughts, Adit?
It's that I think that's one of the challenges of announcing vice captains, right? Um, because then that presents some sort of a selection dilemma. Um, Look, honestly, I don't know the answer to that question because it does leave some sort of a precedent. The other day, Ravi Shastri was talking about the pressure of announcing a vice captain. And certainly something that he and Virat Kohli felt during their time together as coach and captain. Uh, but look, you're absolutely right when you say that Shamsi is the best white ball bowler in South Africa, and he's obviously going to get a nod ahead of any other spinner. But look, in saying that, it's very hard to dispute Keshav's quality as a spinner, but also as his captaincy credentials. And I think the real question probably needs to be asked to Temba, because when Temba and Keshav are on the field together, that relationship matters, and that's probably a good question for Temba in my view.
That is actually a very good question for Temba, because when you look at the two, um, in T20 cricket, there's no doubt about it that you go with Shamsi because he's going to be a wicket taker. But in ODI cricket, sometimes you do need a spinner that is more about control and this holding an end and putting pressure on one end. Then maybe you can go for him. But with regards to Shamo, I just think Shamsi is an excellent bowler. He always finds a way to get wickets. But yeah, let's move on from that. We've got CK Kaur that asked what South African would get the most money in the IPL auction this year. Very interesting. There are a couple of guys that are obviously up for grabs. KG, we've got Quinny, we've got Faf du Plessis. Who else is on that list? Because only Anik Nokia has been kept.
Kishore Rabada,
Yeah,
Aiden Markram,
KG.
Tabriz Shamsi.
Yeah, the Bray Shamsi, Aiden Markram. I don't know. I can't remember the full list, but yeah, for me personally, I think Quinn is going to be a big one. I think a lot of players, a lot of teams are going to go for him and dive in for him. But I think it will be close between KG and Quinny. What about Rassi as well? Is
Yeah,
That's also another big one because I mean the way that guy's been playing.
that's a big one. But I also feel like if Dwayne Pretorius has registered for the auction, it could be a big one because in the IPL they're always looking for they're always looking for quality death bowlers, and we've seen how Dwayne has done in that role since the World Cup. So with his variations, I think if Dwayne is still in the auction, he has gone unsold previously. But if he is in the auction, I think he could go for a decent sum of money.
I don't know if we need to do. If I need to do more research on this, because I've tried to do some research. I've checked. I've looked at a lot of different articles talking about the auction. How I don't know exactly how it's working, because we're hearing rumors that some under 19 players have been put into the mega auction. But from the previous release that we read, article we read, it stated that the auction was that the names have been closed, and like all the people that have been added to the auction have been closed. So how exactly does it work? Do you know, or someone maybe in the
Yeah,
live chat?
yeah. So there is a deadline uh, for registration for the auction, and that was a couple of weeks ago. So that's when you get the opportunity to go under the hammer and decide if you want to be in that auction. But additionally, if you look at players that have been retained by teams, like KL Rahul, Marcus Stoinis, and Ravi Bishnoi are going to Lucknow, for example. Um, so there was a certain window for that to happen, and now I was just checking Instagram because Faf has followed Lucknow, so I'm pretty sure that he's going to go to Lucknow. There have been talks going on for sure, because he's not following any other team of the IPL on Instagram. So whoever made that observation, very smart. Um, but even other than that, it's not like your window to participate in the IPL has shut if you haven't signed up for the auction, because there are injuries, there are players who pull out last minute. There are change in plans. You need replacement players all the time. So those conversations are always on. So it's not like if you haven't signed up for the auction, you won't get a chance to play the IPL. It's just that the amount of money you get will be debated.
So with the new teams that have been added, obviously there was no opportunity for them to retain players, of course, because they didn't have any players. So
Yeah.
how does that work? How do they fill up the team then from that
Yeah.
perspective?
So they had the opportunity to pick three players each, and that was for a certain sum of money. So, for example, um, the Lucknow Super Giants picked K. Rahul, Marcus Stoinis, and Ravi Bishnoi. The Ahmedabad franchise picked Hardik Pandya, Rashid Khan, and I forget who the third player is. But yeah, these are
Yeah.
the two most important ones. So they had an opportunity to pick three key players each before they go into the auction.
Okay. But then if for Faf to so prematurely follow a team, how does he know they're going to, they don't get outbid?
Yeah, so I think there's probably some sort of a discussion going on underway whereby Faf gets in there, before he goes under the hammer. Um, and I think there's a certain number of, I don't know the rules exactly, but I think there's a certain number of players that you can, and Shubman Gill is the third one for Ahmedabad, sorry. Um, and so I think there's a certain number of players that you can rope in before the auction, but it has an impact on your purse.
Because that would be funny if Faf follows Lucknow and then someone else buys him. That would be hilarious,
But
actually.
also, just from if you go back to 2016-17, when Chennai was banned for 2 years, the Lucknow owners had got Faf on to play as part of the rising Pune Super Giants. So the owners and Faf, I'm sure they get along pretty well, and then
Yeah.
obviously Andy Flower and Faf too.
Yeah. Okay, then we've got the main question. The main question is from here. That is on this particular question. This was sent in by, let me get this right, Abhinav Goswami. Did I say it right?
Yes,
Okay, cool.
from Jorhat, Assam.
Okay, cool. Awesome. He wanted to know what are the 20 players that South Africa should invest in or for the upcoming ODI World Cup. So ultimately, what I think I understand from this question is he's asking basically if there was a 20-man squad, who would we pick for a 20-man squad to go to the World Cup in 2023? Because when I'm looking, when the word invest normally means that you're investing in players that you're trying to, obviously, that you see as potential um, players for your squad. Um, Normally, the word invest works with younger players or players that are on like a mid 20s that you're trying to, you're trying to get 5 6 years out of them. But I'm going to try to answer this the best I can possibly answer that. I think that South Africa currently have a very are set on at least 15 of those names. I think that the squad that is currently being announced for the ODIs that was currently playing in ODI cricket um, in the last ODIs we played against India, I think that is kind of our best squad that we have available to us. And then I think they're trying to find maybe a couple of others in between. So when we look at that squad over here, um, I think majority of these guys will be selected. Uh, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 17. So these are 17 names. So you may be going to need another 3 or so to add to this list to add extra 20 to answer the question. But when I look at these names over here, I think these are possibly some of the best, possibly the best ODI cricketers that we have in the country currently. I think maybe you can throw Lazard Williams into this mix, of course. I think guys that are on, or maybe haven't been selected, we remember that you have to add KG to this list, Anrich Nokia to this list. That's already 3 players that you're adding seamer wise that takes your tally up to 20. Now, I personally don't think maybe Wayne Parnell is maybe someone that they could maybe let him out of the squad, for example, and maybe invest in someone else. I do think that they need to think of some maybe youngsters that they can add to this squad over here that's on the screen right now, because this was the squad that's for India. But remember, there's guys missing from this. There's quite a few guys missing from this, or that we've just mentioned. So other than these guys, Aditya, so obviously you will have to add KG to this mix, and you will have to add Anrich Nokia to this mix. I would also throw in Rickleton into this mix as someone for the ODI team, because I think he's been excellent as well. But apart from that, who would you remove from this core? Because I think would be the core squad for the World Cup, in my opinion.
Unfortunately, I think Zubair Hamza would probably not be in that mix, because if you're talking about a World Cup in India, you're thinking about high scoring pitches, where 320, 350 should be a possibility. And if you look at a couple of weaknesses in the South African squad, one of them would be the ability to accelerate in the middle overs. At the moment, I think they're over dependent on David Miller to do that, and he's not going to come good every single time. So that's where I feel like South Africa for the 2023 World Cup will groom Dewald Brevis.
Oh wow, you think so?
I think so.
Wow, that's a great prediction. I mean, the spin aspect of it as well will add to that, because it's in India. So we also need to consider that as well. Keshaf Shamsi and George Linde as your 3 spinners. I think those are your 3 spinners that you take with. So it's difficult to think of a 20 that we need to invest in. I would have liked to have spoken about who we can fast track in, and I think 2023 World Cup is far enough away to groom someone like Brevis. I think it is far enough away for us to do that, because, like I said on yesterday's show, which was about Dewald, was I would like to see him play some first class cricket. I would like to see him play some one-day cricket. I mean, there's a tournament happening right now that's going to happen very soon. There's going to be a T20 competition happening in South Africa. I'm not sure if he's going to be back in time for able to play that in February. And then we'll also have a one-day cup that's going to be happening also very soon, which is an opportunity for us to give some guys an opportunity, to watch them play. We have so much talent in this country when it comes to ODI cricket, I feel. There is definitely a lot of talent. There are question marks over since Sasanda Magala, he hasn't necessarily been the same player that we've seen at the Lions. Every time we see him play domestic cricket, he's topping the wicket tallies in the country, but he hasn't necessarily taken that into his international career. When you look at a guy like Grant Rulofson as well, has done very well for the Dolphins in the past. Um, there is Michael Pretorius that has done really well as well in white ball cricket in the past as well. So we have got a few people that they've given opportunity. I'm not so sure what Boucher feels about, or what the selectors feel about Riley Rousseau, if he's made himself available, all of those things. I have tried to contact him on a couple of occasions to get him on the show, but he hasn't really responded to me, so I can't really ask him straight out to come tell us about these things. So it is a little bit of a pity, but I do think majority of the squad that took on India will kind of remain the same, apart from a couple of guys that will maybe be out of that team. So anything else you want to add to that, Aditya?
Yeah, I think Devold will always have an advantage there because he bowls. So if you have
Definitely.
Devold at top 4, top 5, then if you have Aiden Markram there as well. So you've got two of your top 5 players bowling, and they can contribute either 5 overs each or 10 overs each, which means that you can then strengthen your batting by one position, but that also threatens Keshaw's place, because you already have two of those spinners in the top order. So yeah, it remains to be seen. But either way, exciting. I think there is enough time to expose Devold to top flight cricket between now and the 2023 World Cup. But I have a feeling that his power hitting will definitely come into play.
When does the IPL start, Aditya?
This year's IPL?
Yeah.
I think sometime in March, last week of March.
Last week of March. So they correct in the comment section to say that the IPL and the Bangladesh ODIs will clash. Some of the
March
games.
27th.
March 27. Because of a year, the Bangladesh tour, the first game will start on the 18th, and then the 20th, and then the 23rd, and then the first test starts on the 30th. Oh, we play the tests afterwards. So how are they going to do that? I didn't even think of that. Wait a minute. So you're telling me that the IPL is going to start in March, at the end of March?
Yes, last week of March. Yes.
So then how are they going to play test cricket against Bangladesh? Some of the guys. KG, Aiden. Who else in that team? Rassi, all of them.
Henrik Nokia. I mean,
Nokia.
It's not like all of them have confirmed the IPL contracts yet, but
yeah, but I mean,
have to wait and see.
But Andrich is already been retained.
Yeah, he's retained. Yeah.
So what is the rules around that? Because that's going to be a bloody problem if we're going to miss guys for the test because of IPL. I have no clue what's going to happen, guys. I'm actually going to have to do some research on it. Thanks to bringing that to my attention. I've been so busy with other cricket. Oh Lord! And I haven't even been thinking about Bangladesh yet. We first have New Zealand to go through. So that's going to be a massive problem. I can see the ODIs. I can see them maybe playing or leaving out the IPL guys maybe for the ODIs maybe. Yeah, but the test is what's going to bother me, because we start our test series, to be confirmed, of course, on 30th of March. So, I don't know what's going to happen there.
Yeah, but that's why I guess it would be beneficial to have the IPL in South Africa so that these players can play tests for as long as possible, and then
think of the thinking there from CSA, eh? Smart over there from that side. Okay, let's get into some of the questions in the live chat. Let's see what else is here. I'm gonna make it brief. I'm not gonna ask too many. Um, what the hell is wrong with Mulder? People were hyping him up so much for 2016. The guy is not even able to score runs against Western Province attack on a flat pitch. Um, to be fair, I'm not sure because I've always seen Mulder as a batting all rounder, not a bowling all rounder. Until Otis Gibson came into the mix and decided that he's a bowler, his batting has kind of not been able to, take off as we'd hoped it will, because we needed someone that could um, bat higher and also bowl as well. It just adds a lot of balance to the team. Yeah, the Lions are struggling a little bit. I was there at Newlands today, so I did leave a little early, so I would have missed his wicket. Because he was still batting when I left the stadium to come home to make sure that I can charge everything and be ready for the show. So unfortunate that he went out and didn't get runs. Um, Western Province did bowl pretty well today. There were a couple of balls that were dropping short, etc. But they did bowl pretty well today, and uh, particularly the spinner, like Simmons was getting quite a lot of purchase, even though it was a flat wicket, you would say, but it wasn't as flat as it looked in the Test series. To be honest, like there was a little bit of turn in the wicket for Western Province after a couple of days, so which was interesting. Kyle Simmons was getting some purchase in the wicket, but yeah, I have been disappointed with with the way. I don't know who's managing his batting, but at least they're giving him opportunities to bat. He hasn't played domestic cricket batting wise, for quite some time, like consistently. He's Because I feel that he only gets opportunities um, to bat when he bats domestically. Really, he doesn't really get those opportunities internationally because of where he bats in the order. So we only really get to see him play domestically when he bats, and he hasn't been playing enough, domestic cricket. We have someone saying over here, IPL Mega Ocean on 12th of February and 13th February in Bangalore. Expected some new, fresh, exciting faces. So I think we're going to have to wait and see what's happening there, because I would have liked to have been able to get a list of who the names are we've entered. I wish I had connections in with regards to that. I don't, unfortunately, guys. Um, so yes, let's move on. Clearly, all rounder spot is our weakest link currently. What should be a plan to be developed under led Dwayne into quality batters so that they can win matches batting at 7? I think they just need to bat more. I would like to see our Proteas play more domestic 4-day competitions and more 4-day games so that they can bat longer periods of time. I think that will help their batting a lot. And also when they have the opportunity to play, domestically. Currently, that some of the guys aren't, you know. Andile, for example, Andile is not playing in the. If I'm correct to know that Andile is not playing in the. Oh, he is playing. Yes, he is playing for the Dolphins, so he'll have opportunity to bat. Hopefully, maybe tomorrow. So the guys just need to play. I feel that they just need to play more domestic cricket. That's it, to get their batting better. Also to work with a batting consultant, work with batting coaches to do so. It's very difficult because you need to have natural skills to be an all-rounder. You need to be able to balance your attention to both attributes, etc. So, yeah, I just think more opportunity to bat, and the way they do that is by playing more domestic cricket. I think because internationally you can't be practicing at international level. You need to really be ready when you get your opportunity.
It's one of those things where rhythm plays such an important role. South Africa's first team hasn't really played a lot of ODI cricket, and for them to just come in and start slamming the ball at at batting at 7 or 8 can be quite challenging. Uh, but in saying that, I don't think that the all-rounder spot is the weakest spot. Um, it's the acceleration in the middle overs that um, that can be a weakness there, because 280, 290 can win you some games, and they did in ball. But as we've talked about often, it's important to be able to manage 320, 330 on a regular basis as well. And I think once South Africa has a middle order that can gain some sort of consistency, they'll be able to do that.
I've seen a lot of people talking about Riley in the comments over here, and Lorenzo said he asked him on Twitter and on Twitch, because I know that Riley, he does play a lot of games. He loves his gaming. So on Twitch as well, they asked him, and he said he's been available for 2 years apparently. So if he's available and they see a spot for him in that side, then then by all means go and pick him. But um, I don't think you pick Brevis and Riley. So if you're looking at the one day competition, because we'll have to see now in this one day competition how Riley performs, because he played the T20 competition domestically so far. He hasn't played 4 day cricket, but he's played T20 cricket um, in that T20 tournament that he dominated. So it will be between him or Dewald probably. Do you pick both? I mean, if you pick Riley must play. Like there's no sitting in the squad or carrying drinks for Riley Rousseau. If you pick Riley, you should play. So you're dropping then Aiden, Rassi, one of them, because Temba.
Andrew Brasi.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. You won't even
He's
think of dropping
dismissed
out Rassi.
once. He was dismissed
Yeah, no,
once
it's
in the ODI
ridiculous.
series.
It's ridiculous. He should be the number one pick in that team when you're picking. So you can't drop Rassi. Aiden is possibly a possible opportunity for to drop him, but he's adding something with the ball apparently that they want, that they're enjoying. Um, can't drop Temba, he's the captain. Can't drop Yanaman. Can't drop Kwini. So there's one spot available, and that's Aiden's spot. So if it's either you take a young Diego Brevis who can add with the ball, if that's the argument, I'm not saying that's my argument, but if that's their argument, then you're adding someone that can add something with the ball in that middle spot, if that's what they want, like a Glenn Maxwell type of like mentality. So, or you drop Miller, which I wouldn't do either. So that's another thing. I'll never. And so it's tricky because you're gonna have to think about both. Um, you have to think about, because I don't think Riley adds value to just to be in the squad. He needs to play. Like if he's going to play, then by all means pick him. But if he's not going to play, I don't think he adds too much value to the squad from that perspective.
But also, if there's a choice between Dewald and Riley, you'd have to go with Dewald because he is offering something with the ball. I don't believe Riley bowls, right?
Good fielder though. Yeah. So there was a question asked over here as well on Instagram about. It's a very nice message. I really appreciate it. Let me just go back to it again. I just lost it. But could you speak about the hard work that you guys had to go through when creating Cricket Fanatics Magazine? That is something I feel that we can talk about on another show. We can maybe talk a little bit longer about it. So we will cover that in some other time, and we will speak about Cricket Fanatics Magazine as well. So it's interesting. But yeah, we will talk about also Riley. We will talk about that maybe on a podcast show where we have more time to speak about it. Let's see. But I want to see what he does in the One Day Cup, because that's happening soon. Let's see what he does in the One Day Cup. If he can put on the same performances like he did in the T20s that he can do in the One Day Cup. Unfortunately, you only have 11 players that you can pick, so they're going to be fighting for positions, and I hope that there are people that can fight for positions. Dewald is a nice person to invest in. Like, I know you asked for 20, but if I was going to mention one, I would mention Dewald as someone you can really invest in, because he's someone that can also bowl as well, and we saw his talent in this World Cup. So yeah, Guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to smash the like button, comment, share, subscribe, click that notification bell for all future videos. Thank you for bearing with me. I know I wasn't on my A game today. I have a headache. It's coming on. I get migraines, guys, so it just is that way. I've been getting it since I was a kid, so it is a little bit of an issue, but they just come out of nowhere sometimes, and I can't control it, and to a point where I sometimes can't even function. So thanks a lot for stay bearing with me and sticking with me. And we'll see you guys again on Sunday for another podcast show. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you guys very soon. Please enjoy your weekend. Try to have the best weekend that you possibly can. You too, Aditya. Thank you for coming on. We'll see you guys again very soon. Take care.
Rest easy, bro.